What's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, live at Speedy Link Metro PCS at 7500 Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. Live here interviewing rapper Boy Durty. What's up, dude?
What's good? What's good, man? How you doing?
You know what I like about you, man? You're very laid back. You seem like a guy that'd be very easy to talk to, a guy that I could get a beer with on the weekend, a guy I would want to hang out with.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. The most important thing to me is I don't call them fans, I call them family. Yeah. So that's the most important thing to me is family and being around people and being able to embrace the love and give back the love.
Doesn't it drive you nuts, though, when people get a big head and all of a sudden they are too cool for the room?
Yeah, it drives me nuts a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I guess we came up with the project Apply Pressure is to basically get back to what hip-hop used to be and show them that you got to go out here and reach the youth and these little kids because it's getting crazy out there right now.
So there are so many different brands and genres of hip-hop music and rap music. For people that haven't heard your music yet, what type of rapper are you?
I'm more like a conscious. It's a difference between like Tupac and Lil Jon with the energy of that, you know what I'm saying? Because I bring a lot of energy and aggressiveness of a DMX, you know, when we on stage. So I try to bring everything to give people a good time.
So for me, working in radio, I listen to a lot of different shows. I'm influenced by them, but I try not to copy them. For you, man, what's the key to listening to other rappers but not copying them and not trying to be like them?
The key is before I get ready to go and do an album, you know what I'm saying, I call it my getaway, my camp. I break away from music. I stop listening to it and then I flip the genre of music that I listen to. And people think it's crazy. I might listen to gospel for months and won't listen to any hip hop until it's time for me to do my album to kind of break away because my biggest influences, I grew up on Tupac and Biggie, and I don't want to sound like them, but you know, you can't help it. You know, I was raised in Florida, Trick Daddy, JT Money. Shout out to all those guys, the 2 Live Crew that opened the doors for me. It just made it impossible for you not to, you know, emit or, you know, be something like them because they're great. They're great artists.
For people that are listening that don't know much about Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac or any other rappers from the 90s and 80s, what was so special about that era?
It was a message, and it was relatable. I mean, you can turn on, it's like you can get a Tupac album and listen to it. You can turn it on from top to bottom. It's just like Biggie, from top to bottom, and you can play it. You won't skip any records. It was relatable. I mean, everybody listened to music to have something that they can relate to. And that's what we're missing now with hip-hop. Is a lot of the artists, no disrespect to what the generation is doing now, but you're not going to hear these records 20, 30 years from now, like we still listening to Big and Cube and, you know, Pac and all the rest of the guys like that.
When do you think hip-hop changed overall? When did it go from a lot of rappers having classic hits over and over again to us going from this rapper to this rapper to this rapper, essentially a bunch of one-hit wonders each year? When did the rap game change?
I think when Tupac and Biggie died, to be honest, you know what I'm saying, when they died, that was the end. You know what I'm saying? It was the end and a beginning for the newer generation because, you know, the younger kids got their style of music that they want to listen to and what they want to do. Each generation is different. Like when we was growing up, what we thought was crazy to what our mom and dad was listening to is totally different from what we listening to now. So everybody's different.
So when you think of Tupac, you think of Hit 'Em Up or California Love. Or when you think of Notorious B.I.G., you think of Get Money. For you, man, what is your go-to song that listeners should check out?
Well, the go-to song is I'm Florida. That's my go-to song that's on the album. I mean, a lot of people will get an idea of who I am and where I'm from. If you've never been to Florida, after you hear this record, you're going to want to come visit Florida. So that's the whole purpose with that record.
For me, man, when I want to think of new ideas, I go to the beach, I work out, I go for a long drive. For you, man, how do you let your creative juices come out?
I watch and then I listen and I watch my surroundings. I go out, I see what people are doing. I look at everyday life. Like this is a journey for me. So every time I do a different radio interview, I meet a different person. I go to a different outlet. I feel the vibes from people and I just start writing from that. I do from real life experience. That's what I always want to do.
How often would you say you get writer's block where you're kind of running out of ideas and things to write about and rap about in songs?
Well, not right now because that's by the grace of God, that's the best thing because I don't have any writer's block because I'm still hungry. Meaning that when you want to get out here and you want the fans to hear your music, you're going to continuously write. So I don't have writer's block. A lot of artists get comfortable once they get rich or they get famous, and then you can tell with their music start lacking from the first couple of albums they did to what they're doing now. because they comfortable. They got money now, so they ain't got to work as hard. So I'm just trying to keep that drive all the way through it.
Do you have any mentors, friends, or family members that keep you humble, that make sure you never get a big head?
Oh, absolutely. You know, my family and my team that's surrounding me is number one. Number two, it's got to be the legendary, rest in power, the Fresh Kid Ice of the Two Live Crew. He was my mentor in this game because he's seen it all. He done it all. Everybody knew who the Two Live Crew was from the beginning, the 80s and the 90s, and he was the best thing to me. And now I got his counterpart, which is Brother Marquise. Like on a daily basis, he called to check on me to make sure everything's okay and humbled me. First of all, it was his laugh. His laugh was infectious. Every time you hear Chris laugh, you laugh. The energy that he gave and how he wanted to make us all great leaders and men. His whole thing was, I'm not trying to create artists, I'm trying to create CEOs. That was that he preached that. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to, after you do your music and after you have your little 5 minutes, because that's all hip hop is. It's 5 minutes of fame. Once that's over, what are you going to do next? Yeah. So we started applying a lot of pressure. We got a football league that I started to kind of start giving back to the youth now. So I got the Block Runners Youth Academy. So we doing stuff for the youth now, for the kids to play football and achieve more things, sort of like IMG.
You know what I like about you? You seem like a guy that doesn't get threatened easily, or you find people to be your competition that gets in your way. You want to see other people succeed in life.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, the whole thing is I feel like it's enough money in this game for us all to make it. And I feel like we can get out here, and once we become a family down here in this state, we'll be Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Philly, because those artists come together. You know, we got like 1 million artists here, but you can't tell me 5 of them that actually work together. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to change, that environment and change how people look at hip-hop here in Florida and bring back it. I think it, personally, I just think it's that, like you said earlier, they afraid of competition. Yeah. If your music, like I know for a fact in this city, every rapper is a DJ. Yeah. So if your record is hotter than theirs, they ain't gonna play it. They want the crowd that's dancing on the dance floor to hear their record. Yeah. So if your record is hotter, sometimes you got to do it the opposite way. So what I did is we're beating the streets now here in the city to let people know that we're here. But I went the opposite way, like Chris told us. I ran out. I went to New York, to Chicago, to Colorado, and I made my ground there first. And now I'm bringing it back home. And that's what the smartest thing to do, because instead of trying to fight with all the politics of, hey, you're going to play my record over here at this radio station, you're going to play it over here, I go out and make the other radio stations and the bigger radio stations and stations like yourself see who I am, meet me first, and then the words will spread, and then I'll get there.
For you, man, what is the key to being different than any other rapper when you're hitting up a radio show or you're hitting up people online to spread the word of your music? How do you make yourself come off different than other people?
Well, I pride myself on my shows. What I try to do is when somebody come out to see your show, there's nobody that want to pay $20, $30 to see any rapper. Just stand there, forget their lyrics, don't know what they're doing.
Come late.
Show up 50 hours late and then get on stage. So I pride myself on getting on stage and giving the people everything that they can possibly want and more. If I feel like when I get off stage and I'm sweating and you're sweating, then I did my job. It's absolutely an adrenaline rush, because when I'm on stage and the first time the music come on and you see the crowd pump, that gets me excited. Sometimes I scare my manager and the rest of the team, because I start climbing on speakers and trying to keep the crowd hype, and they be like, "We ain't got no insurance on you, boy." So I do what it takes to keep making sure that people are having a good time.
What is the weirdest city you have performed in so far?
That would have to be Arizona, because I didn't know nobody. Arizona was like, it was hot. Immediately I got off, I was sweating, and it was weird, but the people there is so good, man. The whole Arizona, this whole state of Arizona was just like crazy, but it was weird to me. I got off the plane, I didn't see nobody, but it's a good reason, because it's hot there. So everybody needs shade or something. So, but it was straight. I love California, Burbank, as well as New York. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in New York, getting ready to go up to Canada. I did a lot of shows overseas back in the day, but that's what I really want to do, is get back overseas. Overseas, they love us. No matter what they say, they love us over there. Overseas is the best market for us to do what we need to do out there. So everything that we play out there, as far as hip hop is big out there, and a lot of artists make it over there when they go.
How big is it out there? Like, what's the vibe for a rap listener?
The vibe would be like over here, if we did a show and we got 1,000 people, they might 10,000 people to show up.
Oh my God.
That's how it is. It's different out there.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years as a rapper? Where do you want to be?
In 5 years, I plan on expanding the label, helping other artists, not only in my market and where I'm from, but is get to that level and achieve their dream and be able to give back to the community in a big way. Because, like I said, my mother was very big here in the gospel scene.
That's cool.
And I wanted to be able to kind of follow in her footsteps and give back to the communities and be able to have more awareness with kids. That's why we started the youth program league with the football league, is we want to give back now. And I tell a lot of people, why do you want to wait until you're rich to give back? Give back as you're making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap this up, where can people find everything you're up to?
Well, you can go to blockrunnersentertainment.com to find out all the information, Selecto Hits, records.com. You can find me on ChinamanRecords.com. On my IG is I am B Durty. That's BDURTY. Durty stands for Don't Underestimate Real Talent. You heard a lot of people.
I like that.
A lot of people get nervous when they hear my name because they think, "Oh man, he gonna cuss," but it ain't like that. You know, I try to keep a positive vibe everywhere I go.
Happy hour. Happy hour.